Live
Black
in a
Panther.
reality where everything we do happens fucking once, and the things that we think of that are cool in our minds that we want to like make it happen don't happen because we're thinking it right after the result has already been done. You ever consider that the fact that you have to think about things off of something that's already over and all that shit, whatever it be, like after an argument or after a massive decision or just any response you said to anybody, you start to think about like, I should have said this or I should have said that, or like, dude, if I said it like this in a way, that whole thing would have gone differently. But it's like, it doesn't matter because it already happened.
Yeah. At times I always thought of that.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I was like a super genius that could just do that shit, or I don't know, somebody that just like stops time. You know, like I was thinking about how a lot of people would have like different motivations on what they would do with time stop powers. Mostly dirty ass ones. I know who I'm fucking looking at. But when it comes to me, I think I would just use time stop to just pause at a certain situation I'm in and then think of like a whole bunch of witty shit I could say so that when time resumes, it will just be like people just like get blown away by thinking that I just thought of something witty and crazy as shit right from the fucking spot without having to like pause for a bit. And then I look at how comedians do, and it's like, you know, it's kind of impressive that they could like just practice for a while just to get shit on the road consistently. Or I guess with musicians when they're performing live on fucking stage and they can just make their whole music work. I think what's even more impressive is the people that improvise their music on the live stage, which is a good example would be Richie Havens doing Freedom in the Woodstock Festival. Like, you know, you don't really have those opportunities a lot for everybody. But if I had time stop powers, I could just do that every fucking time. Wouldn't that be?
Right?
Yeah, but we don't really have that. I mean, I don't know. You like tell somebody about like what they want for superpowers. It's always gonna be a really tricky way to like sum up of like what is the most popular answer, because everybody's gonna have a different one. Whether it be like, yeah, do you think most people would really say to you that their ability is to wanting to fly? Like, hell no. Most people would probably say shit like reversing time, time traveling, time stopping, or I don't know, blowing people up with their fucking minds. Like that one image of this guy using his Mexican range to blow up his cuck neighbor.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I would like, you know, I remember specifically, I told myself one time when I was in elementary, I was all like, what would be the superpower you would like to have? I said, I would like to be invisible. And they say, why would you want that? So I could just hide away from the cops.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, I did remember I did say that.
I
did say that.
I like now that you mention it, I remember what I said during in kindergarten when they did like a similar question, and like all I did was like I just like drew a picture of the fucking Hulk because I was like, I like the Hulk, and I like the Hulk as a kid. And I was like, I like how he just gets big and smashes shit. That's like what, because like it's literally just an awesome superpower to just be like this radiation monster that could just run at top speeds and jump super fucking high at mountains and shit and destroy things with ease, and he gets stronger within like each aggression. It's like, it's cool as shit. You know, surprisingly, I don't think I hear anybody else that mentions having that as a superpower of what they want, because it's like, you know, it's always the specific ones like invisibility or flight or super speed. But it's like when you like mention like a character like Spider-Man, for example, it just kind of makes sense, but it's not like Spider-Man, used a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man's powers would be fucking sick, and I don't even think there's like that many comic book characters that really like copy Spider-Man's abilities that well, or at least accurate, other than like a few DC knockoffs. But that's like how what I'm saying, like when characters can be a bit unique, where they have like an interesting skill set that you could really define as the actual superpower than just this is a part of that superpower. Like for Superman, it's like he has the power of flight, or he can just shoot laser beams and shit. But then you can compare a whole bunch of other characters that can do the same, like fucking Darkseid and whatever the Sentry is supposed to be. I don't know. I don't even give a shit about the Sentry. That guy sucks. But yeah, just all that kind of jazz, all that kind of shit. Go fuck yourself if you said that your power is fucking Iron Man. Okay, maybe it's not super bad, but that's practically just saying I just want a Gundam as my fucking superpower when you could just, I don't know, fly a fighter jet. That's not a superpower. That's just learning how to use machines. That's what Tony Stark.
That's just having. That's just having a high IQ.
That's the thing. Like, super intelligence is a superpower, and just being able to be that would just make you either fucking Iron Man or fucking Ant-Man, I guess.
Ant-Man. Honestly, Ant-Man with them particles would kind of go crazy. But I don't fuck with insects.
Oh yeah, I mean, he just controls the insects with his helmet, but like the actual pin particles is cool as shit because you don't always have to shrink. You can also expand things too. You can just mess around with matter. It's just amazing. You can just be tiny or big or whatever the fuck. And it's not even just yourself. You can also do other things. Okay, I kind of just went redundant there. I guess because I was almost about to jump into the pit hole of like mentioning that one disgusting shit that happened to boys. I don't know why. I just remember that specifically because that changed my whole perspective of the shrinking powers completely. Because then I'm like, Jesus Christ, somebody could actually do that in real life if they had those powers. And like, you can't really object to that because it's so fucked up but realistic because of how dirty anybody can be in this world, or at least within all of us, because we're primals.
I mean,
and we can have fucked up desires depending on our fucking backgrounds.
I mean, everyone always had that thought back then. Like remember the time when
go inside Thanos and blow him up to win fucking Infinity War? I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Or can you? I forgot what was one. Hold on, that was one. But
never give the pin particles to people with the giantess fetish. That is like the worst.
Yeah. That is also the pin particles.
Holy shit.
Or use the pin particles so you could so if you're so insecure about your 2-inch fetus, you could just use the pin particles to help you. You could just use the.
Why do I feel like this is an existing superpower that's happened before?
I don't know. It's just like the one where the white guy yells "Black Bomber."
No. Did he shouted Black Power?
Yeah, I think I don't remember. Oh no, his name was Black Bomber.
His name is the Black. No wait, was he really called the Black Bomber? I thought he was called the Brown Bomber.
No, I think it was called the Black Bomber. Hold on, let me double check.
I mean, I'll just put the panda on the screen anyway. But yeah, just fucking Miles if he was Thor kind of type of shit, even though it happened way I don't know, it's just like whoever thought of DC. Was it a DC hero? Yeah, it was, right? I mean,
yeah, it was a DC hero.
If you call him a hero, I mean, what does he really do? Is he just Luke Cage, or is he just some black guy that does stuff?
I want to know that too. What does he do?
His ability is just turning into a black person. It's like, that is kind of cool. Imagine getting invited to all the barbecues with that ability. But fuck out with what I said. I'm just gonna say the fact that like I would rather go with any other superpower than just turning into a different race, because it's like, what isn't that just a worse version of shapeshifting?
Yeah, it is. It's like, what if you decide to just turn Asian, then all of a sudden, martial arts, then all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it's like with shape-shaping abilities, you could just be Asian and just be anything, or, you can just be a fucking lizard. I mean...
Yeah, I know.
I look at characters like Mystique, and I'm like, she can turn into anything and technically copy their abilities, right? Or at least not really, but it's still like how... That's a really good shape-shifting ability compared to just, oh, yeah, I'm the Black Bomber, and my ability is to say the N-word freely. And flirt with women and shit that don't go to work, that doesn't even work because they know who he is. They know he's white. They know he's racist, too. That's not gonna work in the
That's what
allegations department. Yeah, isn't he supposed to be a racist guy?
Yeah, he is. But he's all like, now see,
Amazing.
look, I'm one of you now.